All right. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. We're going to be getting started. We're going to be painting up a bit of an old model that's been in my collection for a while, and I haven't. It's just been kind of sitting there ready to go, kind of basically base coated, and yeah, just ready to be painted. And this is a one of the original Daylami sculpts for the Hak Islam. One of the, not the newest sculpts, but one of the sculpts that I had painted a while ago is this one here. So we're going to be following this. You can actually see, like, with these this old one is one of the hand sculpted ones, whilst this one I think was one of the early 3D the 3D modeled ones on the computer before they made the molds. And you can see kind of like the head size is a lot smaller, and generally the physique is a lot smaller. But yeah, we're going to be painting at one of these. So this is one of the old Infinity sculpts that I managed to pick up a while ago when I started collecting my Hassassin Maram. You are really wibbly wobbly. I don't want you to be wibbly wobbly. There we go. And so yeah, we're going to just have a go at painting him up today. So, first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be getting our lovely brown, and we're basically going to just paint over the whole model brown. Give it a nice base coat here. And then we can work off of that as we go. So yeah, you may notice in the video at the top there, my eye is all messed up. I got a sty, and it's annoying as all hell, because it's kind of like I really wanted to get on with perhaps recording a video, making a video with me actually in it, and this thing has just prevented me because I just look just disgusting to look at the moment. Which is not fun, to be honest. So yeah, we're just going to go over this entire model in brown. Right now I've got a fairly thin coat. It's been watered down. So we'll do one coat and then we'll go over again. We won't worry too much about the face there. Or too much of the arms. There's a glove on there. And so yeah, we'll just coat over everything in the brown. Just give us a good base to work off of. There's going to be some different colors in there. We've got purple for a lot of the kind of the cloth parts of his armor. Not the cloth parts of his armor, the cloth parts of his uniform. We just try and squeeze in a little bit of red as well. That's what I've kind of got for my Daylami. Daylami are supposed to be a little bit of the camouflage type, so I don't really paint them in a very camouflage nature. But, oh well. So yeah, one of the reasons I guess I didn't get the Black Wind box was it comes with 2 Daylami, I think, in there. Or 3 Daylami, and I've already got 5. So I'm kind of like I've got enough Daylami to be able to run my army fine, if I need them. So yeah. So that's fine. Yeah, let me just test my messaging. I'm just going to say hello. Send that out just to see if it's popping up in my chat. Yes, lovely. So that's good. Alright, so I'm going to change that one to zombie sashimi, and then hopefully that will read a little bit better. This is a test. And there we go. It just pops up straight away there. That's lovely. Okay, so that's the way we're going to be going. It actually has my name on there, so that's good. All right. So there's a few nice details on this model in terms of the fact he's got like a knife. On the leg there, so we get to paint that as well. And yeah, like this is basically like a hand sculpted model, I believe, for the mold. So it looks a really good one. There's a few which are a bit dodgy, but this one's one of the good ones, I think. I got some more of these specifically old Daylami. I think one of them is with the other one was the Panzerfaust, which is this one here. And I've got one more, which is the newer sculpts of the Panzerfaust as well. And when I say newer sculpt, I don't mean the brand new ones. I mean the ones which are now a few years old. And so their size is a little bit bigger compared to this one. Okay. I'm not going to touch that anymore for a bit because it's got to dry before I put on the next layer. But whilst that is drying, what we're going to do is we're going to paint a bit of the face. So, initially then for the face, we've got a bit of Bergman's, but we're going to mix in a little bit of a purple, I think, as well. Let's try a bit of purple shadow. I'm going to just try this as an initial layer, and then we'll work up from it and see how that looks. Yeah, so that one's quite a reddish purple there. We'll get some Bugmans in there as well. And we'll try that. Urgh. Every time Bugmans gets really stuck. There we go. Oh, I realized I forgot to push out the wrinkles of my wet palette. It's a bit silly of me. So I'm just gonna try and push out some. You don't want that air between. So we push some of that out. There we go, we're not too bad, we're not too bad. To be honest, most of it is actually taking the shape of what I need, so that's good. So, this is a teeny tiny face. Don't know how I'm going to do the eyes, but initially, let's just get a little bit of the Bugmans, a little bit of that purple in there as well. There we go, that makes kind of a nice... It's a nice kind of shadow tone there. So, you know what I'm initially going to do? I'm initially going to do the Bugmans. Just pure Bugmans, and then we'll work in some shadow as we go as well. So initially we just want a layer of this in there. It's got like a very long head. I think there's a sculpted a little bit strangely, to be honest. Not a perfect sculpt. It looks a bit David Hasselhoffy. But yeah, you can kind of see. Looks a bit David Hasselhoffy-ish. There we go. Oh, you can see like a mold line right down his face there, which I really could not see before, but under the light you can. There we go. Now he's also got rolled up sleeves. So we're going to paint those arms of his as well. There we go. And then these arms as well. Very jolly song. Almost sounds seasonal. Now that we've finished Halloween, everything is Christmas. I can't make out if he's wearing gloves or he's just wearing like a watch type of thing. I think it's gloves, to be honest. So we're going to stick with him wearing gloves. I think that's going to be the best. That'll be what we should be doing. Okay. Right, let's give our second coat of the brown. And then I think we can come back to the face. And we might actually do the eyes as well, because it's nice to get the eyes done early, so it's kind of done and out the way. It's just giving us a good base. There we go. Oh gosh, I remember how these sculpts were very difficult to put together. I remember the old sculpts were very, very hard to connect. And I think at the time when I got these, I was still very early on in my Infinity experience, and I didn't do the whole process of cleaning the metal properly. So I remember having a nightmare sticking stuff together. But hey, it's done. Okay, let's have a go at getting those eyes painted. And so you can see it's such a tiny area for the eyes. We're going to have a go at getting them. So for that, I'm going to need my black. And then we'll use our ivory, and we'll just mix in a touch of grey as well. Just a touch. I'm going to need black. And ivory. Plenty. And I could just use the black to do the grey, but I'm going to use regular grey, just so that we don't go too dark and we can kind of control it a bit better. Because eyes aren't pure white. They usually have a little touch of grey in them. So to do this first, we're going to start off with the black. We're going to get our brush into a fine point and decently loaded. And we're just painting in the socket. Going a little too big is fine, because we can fix that later. That's no problem. But you've got to have enough of it. Yeah. So that you can see. So right now I've done way too much on the black. That's fine. That's fine. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to take our ivory. I'm going to get a touch of the grey in there as well. Mix that all in. Get a bit more ivory. Then we just want that slightly off whitish colour there. Okay, you can kind of see I've probably the eyes not great. Eyes are going to be always tricky, so you kind of have to go back and forth a bit. Until you feel like you've got it right. All right, well, we'll go with that for the moment, but it's not particularly even at the moment. So, well. We're going to go in with the black now to dot where the eye is. So we kind of got one eye kind of done there. Need a bit more paint. It's not going on quite strong enough. You can kind of see he's got some eyes now. One eye is just way too black. So let's creep in with the Bugmans. See if we can clean this one up. Maybe too much. Okay, we got some eyes that aren't terrible, so that's a good start. That's where you kind of get that bit done, so that you can then not worry about mucking up a good paint job elsewhere. And as long as you're careful around the eyes and don't completely muck them up with what else you're doing, you should be okay. So now we're going to mark in some of the darker areas of the face. So I'm kind of sketching in this darker area here. You have it under the lip as well. Just between the chin and the bottom lip, there's that little dimple of dark. Just above the eyelid. And we just want to line the hairline as well. Like that. Okay, we're going to try going a touch darker with that as well, so we can take it down to this bottom end of the purple that we got. Just to build that down there. Build that bit down there. Touch in there. Line a bit of the hair. At the moment we're kind of sketching at the moment roughly where all these shadows are going, and then we're going to just bring up the front of the face there, make that really kind of try and stand out a little bit more. Okay, so let's go back in with our regular Bugmans first. And just bring up the areas that are going to be the lightest. So there's the bit there. Bring that back up. On the bottom of the chin there. The front of the forehead. Okay, so the face is, getting there. We got some balances of light. Wow, you really see that mold line under the camera. That's horrible. In person, you really don't see it at all. Like from that angle, you can't really see it, but as soon as you catch that light on it, oh my god, so there it is. Bam, nasty. Okay, so let's move it up to Acadian flesh tone. I don't want to go too bright with this one. I want to keep the skin a little bit dark so that it has a little bit more of a kind of an Arabic kind of skin tone, I guess. But at least, fairly suntanned. Kind of skin tone would be nice. So I'm going to try and avoid going too bright. And we'll see how we do. So I'm going to mix in a bit of the previous colour, the Bugman's flesh, into this one. And we're going to do our first kind of real highlight layer on this one. What I've been finding with painting faces is kind of being subtler with the amount of highlighting that I do has helped give a better kind of look to the model, I guess. But we're gonna go, let's go up all the way there to the I think it's the Acadian flesh tone. Is it Acadian? Yeah, it's Acadian. We hit the nose there. It's good to try and spot the nostrils as well, as those are the parts of the face that are going to catch a lot of the light. Get just under the eyes where the cheekbones catch light, and on the chin there where we catch some light. Upper lip catches a bit as well, but not too much. Forehead always catches a lot. So that's the bit that you end up highlighting the most sometimes. I know it might be a bit. He looks very startled. Right, well, let's do the arms. So, first of all, the initial shadows. Hitting across the divide between the arm and the cloth, plus the underside where the light is not hitting. Then we go to the very dark end of that. Try and catch it a bit more finely. Hit it with the Bugmans again. Just to clean that up. Then we go up to the mix of Bugmans and Cadian. We catch a bit of that light properly. And then finally there's the Cadian. I think I will bring in a question is, do I just use the ivory that I've got on here? Mix in a touch of ivory. Let's just see how that will look. Gives it just that little bit extra glow. I quite like that. Now, I think what we can do is we can get a bit more of our mid-tone, the Bugmans, into more of the face. And then hopefully it won't look quite so stark. on the crossover. Yeah, it's looking a little bit more even there again. That horrible mold line. But yeah, we're getting there. Then we go with our darker purple. And a little bit. Get some of the bugmans. Bring that back to there. Get some of our mix. And then start just highlighting that area there until we go up to Acadian. Again, we don't need to do too much, just catch the bit we think is going to be catching the most light, and then the final highlight touch where we've mixed in a bit of ivory just on that last bit of line there, just to give it some final highlight shine. And then I think, like, for our initial skin tone, we're looking okay. Eyes a little bit wonky, but not the worst eyes. One problem of showing you a close-up like this is that the light is so damn close that it gives a very poor representation because it just shines right off the bloody thing. Hopefully that's all right. You can kind of see a better representation there. I think that's okay. Yeah, I'm getting plenty of light here, and I've got the light out of the way now. So hopefully when I bring up close, you can, yeah, you don't get so much of a glare back. Hello. Going a little bit weird, sorry. So, next, we're going to try and, I think we're going to place in where our purples and our reds are going to be. So using the other model as an example. So we're going to do our purples first. So let's get a dark purple in. And we'll just place that. Woo! I'm going to be using Nagaroth Night from Games Workshop for that one. Oopsie. Think we're okay. Can you actually see what I'm doing on my white palette at all? Possibly not. So that might be a better position there. You can see a bit of it, at least. To So next we're going to mark out the areas with our Naggaroth Knight. That's going to be this cloth part of his uniform. I'm actually finally going to be able to play some board games with people as I'm going to the Osaka kind of board gamers club this Sunday, and I'll be taking along Defiance with me. See if anyone wants to play. I'm feeling like it's hard to decide exactly where some parts of this armor is, or where the cloth is on the model. Okay, right, let's do the rest of the trousers. Put you up there for my reference. I actually got in on a Kickstarter very recently, and that was for a lot of new brushes. So they had a paintbrush Kickstarter where it was so successful that we got loads of extra free brushes. So I've gone for the double set where you get the where I get sable brushes, a set of sable brushes and a set of wolf hair brushes, which is supposed to be kind of equivalent but a cheaper alternative of these safely sourced wolf hair bristles. And looks like I'll be getting about 37 brushes, I think, which will keep me well stocked. And I'll probably do like a little review of it when I get it. Paint up a couple of models, one with the sable brushes and one with the wolf hair brushes, and see how I feel about each set. Comes with brush soap as well. I'm getting some extra brush soap as well, just to keep me going with that. So that'll be kind of nice. Yeah. quiet stream for me today. Which is fine, which means I actually get painting done. Okay. I think that's mostly marked out all of the purple areas of the model. So next we're going to mark out a couple of red and green areas. Not much for the red, but we'll add it in. So I'm going to use corn red, because corn red's great. Matches my shirt. Gotta stop knocking my my little camera. Right, he's got a little neck scarf on that I'm going to be painting red. I have to figure out how I'm going to do his hair as well. He's a bit bug-eyed. That's not so bad. It's not so bad at all. I'll refresh my stream from time to time just to check it's going okay. Yay. Good, good, good. Okay. There's gonna be some other bits that I'm gonna do red. Or not. I guess not. Well, I got it on my palette in case I want to use it, so it's not too bad. What we could do now is we could either work on the armor and get the armor right. I think, yeah, let's get the armor right. So, doing the armor, I believe we need some heavy brown. It's going to move up. And then, yeah, we'll probably mix in a bit of the ivory, to be honest. Unless we go with ice yellow, maybe. Let's try a bit of ice yellow mixed in there. Give it a bit of a difference to my Shazvasti at least, so it kind of doesn't look too similar. And let's just try it. Oh, god damn it. That's going to be annoying me. Let's just try one area of the armor just to try this out on. So let's go ahead and do like one of the breastplates there. Okay, let's get the next little bit on. So now we just go with the heavy brown. Get a touch of that one mixed in. I'm quite liking it so far. A touch more to a nice and bright. I think that's looking okay. Okay, let's try and do the rest. So we can just sketch out some bits of that and then go up to just the heavy brown next. I'm getting a fairly nice blend building on there. Go up to our lightest. And yeah, it's looking okay. It's got some quite nice blends building. As you can see there, a few strokes you can still see, so I'd have to try and glaze some of that back in. But it's looking okay. I must say, it's one of those ones which looks better in person than it does on camera. Methinks. There we go. Okay, let's build it up. Next is the heavy brown. Okay. Let's get a touch of you and a touch of you in there. That's the lighter version. Then we mix you in, get that nice in between. All right, we're getting there. Oh, cool, JJ Duke. Thank you very much. Yeah, I have to see. Perhaps from next week, that might be a possibility. This Sunday, I'll be going to a board game event here in Osaka to try and introduce people to Defiance, and hopefully eventually things like Aristea and Infinity. But yeah, I would love to have a game of Aristea with you. That'd be great. It's been a while. That would be awesome. I haven't played Aristea for ages as well. So it'll be good to have a game. I really want to do another battle report thing of Aristea one time, but this Defiance one is just taking up all of my editing time. I'm going to make the edit a little simpler for myself, I think, for the future videos, so I can just get more of them out faster. I think that will serve me well to do so. Yeah, it's a fun game. It really is. The models themselves to paint aren't as good as the general Infinity ones, unless you get in the metal alternative sculpts. Plastic's a bit weird on some of them. It did get better over time as they released the later expansions, but they're still a bit wonky. Still a bit wonky. Yeah, that's possible. That is possible. Yeah, I could record the game and use that for my for the basis of it. It's weird. I think it's getting the word out there and then catching them at the right time, and those bits are hard. To be honest, unless you've already got a following and a regular schedule with it all, I think it's kind of hard to do. But yeah, not that many people do kind of check out streams of board games. I think it's kind of sometimes too slow, perhaps. I don't know. I personally, I want my I want I want battle reports to be a bit more flashy and a bit faster, where I get the main information that I need, but then it's kind of presented in a really either cinematic way or very clear and easy to understand. Sometimes there's too much of the kind of like umming and ahhing and back and forthing, and I kind of get bored with watching those parts sometimes. But I might not be the majority of people that think of that. Oh, right, the Masters of the Universe game does. Ah, cool. Yeah, yeah, I haven't been able to touch any other kind of games at all. I've been tempted to actually pick up a copy of Hero Quest, perhaps, to be able to play with my daughter. But for the time being, I'm not getting anything new. I've already got the tag raid coming in the near future. Ish. I'm not getting on board with Warcrow. Not really interested at all in that. In certainly the adventure game, the dungeon crawler. Didn't really catch my fancy. Still kind of was just followed the Kickstarter a little bit just to see what kind of straws do they have. But the fact that like you basically just have repeat sculpts of pretty much every single model without variation just makes me feel it's going a bit too like much like a kind of a CMON game kind of thing. But and the idea of painting a bunch of models with the exact same pose would just kill it for me. So yeah, bank raid possibly. Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah, I haven't actually played a game of Infinity for ages. I'm still okay with it. It's all right. It's fine. I think it plays fine, to be honest. I do think the new Fireteam stuff is fine. It's okay, but my main army is the Shazvasti, where you don't go Shazvasti for the Fireteam choices. You go Shazvasti for the fact that you can then field more of the troops that are good. So have that kind of greater unit cap with them. So I don't really have to think too much about them. But I think there's some interesting kind of groupings that you can actually do now with the new Fireteam rules. So it's not too bad. I want to try some of the new ITS missions as well, or at least the new ITS system, see if there's anything interesting there. But first of all, I just want to get some people interested in the local area to perhaps try it first. Alright, I think I might mark out some of the things which are going to be green before I start moving on with the armor there. But I'm liking this. You can't really see it, but you can still see some strokes and things, but my blends are becoming a little bit smoother than what they used to be in kind of comparison with an old model there, where this one you can kind of really see the strokes a lot more. This one's a little bit more subtle now. And anyway, this is like a really old sculpt as well, so I feel like I'm being screwed over by the sculpt a bit, but yeah. Yeah. I mean, Code 1 is pretty bare bones basics, but it does mean that I think in terms of like players who actually have played Infinity, like the full rules and things, feel frustrated with it because it's like I can't do these cool things, and you can kind of screw over the other team. You can, once you've figured out the systems, it's easier to be able to play to whatever army's strengths you have, kind of thing. Whereas Infinity does have a little bit more variation in terms of how you can approach situations. But it's nice to. I think Code 1 shouldn't be a competitive thing. It should be more of just a jump in and play a little bit, and get to know the systems and how they work. But that's one of the reasons I got Tag Raid, was I thought that would be a good fun way to get people who are a bit more board gamey into the system of Infinity and want to perhaps give it a go. And I think that's possible. So I'm kind of interested in Tag Raid. I think it would be a giggle. I fully expect CB to fudge up the campaign book a little bit, but it's gonna be less of an impact compared to Infinity Defiance, as it's more of just a kind of a multiplayer fun game. But I have a feeling there's probably going to be some things about it that drive me a bit nutty. I wish I have to see. Yeah, it will be interesting. Yeah, luckily, no, I don't have Japanese cards of it or anything like that, and there's no translations of them in Japanese. There's no market for it within the Japanese people's market. But this board game club mostly is mostly gonna be expats and things, so I can just run it in English. But if I do have any Japanese players who want to play, I can just kind of quickly translate and try and explain things in Japanese as best as I can. But I fully expect everyone to basically be using English this weekend. But every time I've kind of planned to go to Osaka and do an event or something, there's either been like super COVID outbreak again and I'm like, no, not going, or something's happened in my life and I'm just like, no, can't go. And I'm just like, what's going to happen to stop me from going? But I'm hoping nothing. That would be preferable. I've actually finished all of the base game's models, are now all fully painted. I'm very happy about. Yeah, I know what you mean. I've finished the base game's minis. I'm really happy about that. I've still got the extras to do, but I just finished the Charon Tid. It came out pretty well. I was very pleased with this one. I would have loved to have come to the UK this Christmas, but just ticket prices for the airplane are just too dear. So I decided against it. So this year I'm going to be just staying here whilst my daughter goes to school and my wife goes to work, and get some time to myself, maybe make some videos, do some painting, maybe play some games, who knows, but try to get a bit of content out because I've been a bit dry of late. I was going to try and record some stuff, but I got like a horrible sty in my eye, and so I'm not going to be appearing on video for a while. So I've got to write up my short story for the Charantid that is now painted and do that video. Hopefully knock out a painting video for that one as well, perhaps, because it was a fun one to paint. I got all the footage for it, so I might as well make use of that and put out a little bit of content, just a little bit. But yeah, no plans to come to England at the moment, I'm afraid, which I'm a bit frustrated with as well. But it would have been nice to come back. And I'd probably like bring an army along with me and just see if there's anything in the local scene as well where I could just pick up a game and have a go. That would be nice for me. Right. Yeah, I have no idea when I'm going to be able to come back to England. And right now it just seems, every time I kind of look at it in the news, I'm like, I'm not sure if I even want to come back to visit at the moment. Oh God, it's nuts over there. It's like the end of times. Right. Oh, I did say it earlier, but I don't think you were on here at the time. But I did back another Kickstarter, but for paintbrushes. There's like the wolf bristle brushes. I needed some new paintbrushes, and I was going to order some Artist Opus brushes from England, which would have cost me, well, in Japanese yen, for like a pack of 4 or 5 brushes that I was after. It would probably cost me about 8,000 yen, 6,000 yen maybe, something like that. All right, yeah. Yeah. It's like, I know, like when you're in your 40s, I think you don't really want it to be a sucky time. You want it to be where you're starting to really get, okay, life for me can slow down a little bit and be kind of enjoyable, and I feel fairly secure and things like that. And it's just like, no one will feel secure unless you're a millionaire. Meh. And unless you're a millionaire, you can't join our circle jerk. Meh. It's frustrating world we live in. I've seen like What's that place where they sell all the stuff near a subway? I don't know. But basically the Kickstarter that I jumped in on was the wolf hair one. So I bought I went for the double pack where I get the pack of sable brushes and the pack of wolf hair brushes, because I was like, I want sable because I really like painting with sable brushes. But this wolf hair one that they have is supposed to be a good equivalent, so I was like, screw it, I always need brushes, and right now I'm always relying on like 3 brushes for like the last 3 years that I like. So having a kind of a massive set of brushes which I can just kind of use a bit willy-nilly and also get some brush soap as well would be kind of nice. But yeah. Are you thinking of Shinjuku? Are you talking about a place in Japan? Shinjuku is kind of like the is it Shinjuku? It's like one of the main areas in Tokyo, I think. Oh, right, yeah. Actually, probably the best place to go in Tokyo is probably Akihabara, because that's kind of like where all the anime stuff is and all those hobby type places. A lot of them are there. Otherwise, in Osaka, Denden Town is good. Kind of around near Namba, going into, god damn it, I forget the name of the places now, but near Namba. Yeah, you can find all kind of interesting places. The best place for me is a place called Volks. There's one in Osaka. I think there's probably one in Shinjuku and things. But there's one in Osaka called Volks, and they have like they have like everything Vallejo there. So if I needed, they can go there and get Vallejo stuff. They also sell Artis Opus brushes, but it's cheaper for me to order them from the UK and have them shipped over if I wanted that. So I'm just kind of not really feeling that. However, their Vallejo paints are very well priced, so I do enjoy picking up Vallejo paints whenever I get a chance to from there. But yeah, there's a few interesting places here. I mean, obviously they have a lot of all the Tamiya stuff and things, which is great for kind of like the Gundam, and they have kind of all of their acrylic paints that have kind of are enamel acrylics mostly, not really water based, so you need different cleaning supplies for them and things like that, so I don't really use those. But I have been looking a little bit at some Gundam models and like having a look at like, okay, if I paint them up kind of nicely, I might be able to sell them for a teeny profit from the initial buying price. Probably isn't going to be worth it in terms of time spent building the bloody things and painting them, but it could be like a little fun project. I'm thinking of selling a lot of my Games Workshop stuff as well, but I'm thinking of like maybe paint it up first and then sell it. See if there's a market for it or not. I'm also going to see if I can get some commission work from the board game event by showing off my models there. It'd be kind of nice. Yeah, we got Amazon, we got everything like that. The main two for those things are Amazon and Rakuten. Oh, that's good. You're probably desperate to have people buy stuff and bring it to the country and like have some sort of trade where they're like, okay, we're not going to charge you because we don't want you to stop doing this. I don't know. This is a bit of a rushed job on this one, but it's coming out okay. What sort of things do you buy from Japan then? Ah. Right. Oh, this guy's coming along. Oh. Yeah, I would say much cheaper than eBay that way. I don't know how much people really use eBay that much anymore. It's not really used here in Japan, so I don't really use eBay. It's interesting. A lot of I like all the plastic models and things. They keep their value even after use and things quite highly here as well in Japan. So if I do sell my my Warhammer stuff, I can get a decent price out of them, and I'm in no rush to sell them, so I don't need to sell them at a low price just to get rid of them. So I'm gonna have a go at doing that, see how that goes. I do wonder if some of this could have been painted a darker brown, perhaps. Increase the contrast in some of these. Certainly for the shadows. For domestic in Japan, no, not too bad. It depends who you're ordering from. I mean, like Amazon is often, it's got Prime, so you get like free delivery and things, and most places do kind of a free delivery or a decent price. Volks, if you order from them, they just have a kind of a standard rate of 880 yen. So it's just worth buying a lot. And then the 880 yen is really nothing in comparison to what you've bought. It saves you more than having to travel there and pick it all up yourself. You get the added convenience of it being sent to your door. But I have been hit by the duty tax thing when it's coming out from international. Yeah, when it's happened once, twice. It depends, because like with the Kickstarters, there's usually like a promise of like avoiding the tax thing. And so any time that a Kickstarter has promised that, I've been fine. But no, I did get it actually for one of my Kickstarters, but the guy running the Kickstarter promised everyone that he would just pay them back if you just sent him the copy of the thing. I ended up just paying it because I believed in the product and I didn't want to. The guy was just so nice and he did so much for everyone on the backing that I didn't want to burden him with that charge. I was happy to take the hit and get the really good product that he made. But one time when ordering from the Corvus Belli website, I did get hit with the tax on that. That hurt. That one hurt. Because it was basically like I took the deal where you get the free shipping from Corvus Belli when you spend so much in one of their special event things. And then I got hit with the tax, and it's like, well, that just kind of nullified the whole point of me not paying the shipping. It was really frustrating. So don't do that anymore. Luckily, there's a really good place here now that sells Infinity models at a really reasonable price. And I think also if you get their pre-orders, they do a 10% off as well. So it's kind of like, for Japan, that's like awesome. Right. I've kind of done the armor. I wonder if I go a little bit lighter on the armor, just get one last highlight on there. Just a touch. Just to really make it kind of add that contrast in. I think that just helped a little bit there for the center of the army. Center of the body. Okay. What time am I on? Okay, I'm on 11:15. I may have to just stop right there and finish for today. I could go on and try and finish the model, to be honest. I'm not going to be doing a crazy job on this one, but I think I can save this one for Saturday. Finish him on the stream on Saturday, I think. But a nice start for this guy. A little bit scary eyes, but overall not too bad. I've got to add him some eyebrows and things, so we should be okay. Oh, hello, Hobby Hut Wargaming. I am painting Haq Islam Daylami. This always happens to me when I do this. I go, okay, I'm about done for tonight. I'm gonna go, and that's when people come in and are like, hi, what are you painting? So, yeah, this is this is like the old sculpt of the Haq Islam Daylami. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I will try and catch you on Discord in a while when I can get a game in. That would be great to play. But yeah. And so thanks. But yeah, this is the really old sculpt of the Haq Islam Daylami. So obviously Black Wind has come out with the 3 new Daylami. I actually have, I think, all of the old sculpts of Daylami, which are 5 sculpts. This was one from a few years ago, and I think I painted him a few years ago as well. And then this one is the really old sculpt, so you can kind of see head size wise and body size wise he looks a lot smaller. Because this is one of the hand sculpted ones from Corvus Belli, I believe. But yeah, he's been going okay. We're kind of getting there with him. But yeah, there's that. All right. Yeah, I'm going to actually finish up those today, as it's getting on a bit for me. And I'll catch you next time, hopefully. I'll be on again on Saturday, roughly the same time. Hopefully I can go on a little bit later on the Saturday. But for now, I've got to call it a night. I've got work tomorrow, and it's going to be a busy one. So, thank you very much for joining me today, and I'll catch you next time. Take care. Bye-bye now.